Welcome back, Mitz from Level Up Bassin. So it's the end of February, and now we're getting ready for the season up in the Northeast. I'm starting to review different things. I have Active Target 1. I'm starting to research Active Target 2. This video, thanks to some footage Lowrance provided, we're going to go through, look at Scout Mode, look at Forward-Facing Mode, and look at Down Imaging. Really compare a little bit what we're seeing on the screen and go through some of the highlights. If you like what you see and it's helpful, like and subscribe, helps out the channel. Let's get to it.
But let's take a look at this example here. It's going to go through and pretty much show us kind of that overview of what it does. If I'm marking something at the end of this structure, what I need to do is look at how far out and how far over am I going to have to cast to get there. So you're going to have to cast over 70 feet and to the left about 22 feet just to make sure that you get to where the target is. Next, in this still image, what you'll notice is the stitching, kind of where the different sonars do provide feedback, and they take the images that are getting returned and stitch them together. It's definitely not as bad as Active Target, the original. The new Active Target 2 seems to blend them much better. But as the image settles, you'll notice this circle here, we pretty much have one fish swimming right across this structure. And it's pretty amazing to see that happen. You can almost see tail movement. As it pans over and it zooms in a little bit more, you actually do get to see a couple more fish and another one come out of the structure on the left-hand side. So very valuable, just very hard to use when you're on the water. So forward-facing mode is definitely what I use the most. I think it's pretty much on 90-95% of the time when I'm out on the water fishing. With forward-facing target on Active Target 1, the image looks pretty similar to this, but I think what I notice on here is that the stitching is much better. So realistically, if we took this bait ball, it's about 40 feet out and probably another 10 feet down. So you have to take that into account. You probably want to cast about 50-60 feet and have it drop down. This one is a bait ball, but it's much deeper. So this one's 15 feet out and about 15 feet down. So you got to take into account that's pretty much 30 feet of line that's got to get down to these fish. What I like about this one is if you actually look at this bait ball, you can almost distinguish each fish's characteristics: tail, eyes, fins, and obviously this larger fish up above. Now in the live view, you see the stitching a lot more. You can see both of these diagonal lines just kind of mesh together. But check out these two fish. You can actually see the tails moving. And then one fish is actually two. They split apart and start swimming away. This is what you're targeting when you're fishing. So Active Target 2 does seem to really clean up the images per fish, or kind of that identity of the fish. So down imaging is an interesting one. You're in deeper water and you're drop shotting, you obviously can use this to unbelievable advantage. The hard part about it is you're dropping off the front of the boat straight down, or you're taking a little flip cast. But once you get below the surface, you can see in this representation that 15 feet down, you're dealing with an 80-foot cone of water. So there's a lot of room for error. But if you're pretty much honing in your electronics and you're dropping off the front of the boat straight down, I mean, just look at the clarity and the detail in this. You can pick out some unbelievable structures to fish off of. Now, if you look at this image, what happens is with the down imaging, you kind of get that blur. The image almost gets drawn out. But as you adjust it, you can really start to lock in on the definition of the images below you. And it's just so valuable. Any type of structure, 90% of the time, you might not even see the fish that's on it. But we all know that structure equals fish. You can see small bait balls around this object, and then all of a sudden it comes into focus and it's a boat. I mean, how incredible is that? So really just a cool piece of technology. It's not going to put the fish in the boat for you, but you can spend a lot less time searching and a lot more time catching. So, hey, it is what it is. I think the image is clearer. I think the stitching is better. I think the technology has gotten much better.
So that's it. That's pretty much Active Target 2. It's a little bit different than the original, a little bit clearer, a little bit more detail, a little bit less stitching, kind of that screen blur. Overall, I don't know if I'm going to upgrade just yet. It's a pretty hefty expense. So realistically, I'm going to keep an eye on the footage they provide, see what it does over the year, and we'll see. Hope you liked the video. Definitely like, subscribe, and comment. It helps out, and we'll catch you in the next one. Mitz from Level Up Bassin.